whatever the topic of yoga is, has to be spoken, has to be explained, has to be delivered to people who want to listen, want to know. And the sage chooses the form of sutra literature to deliver it, which means whatever has to be said in such a way that nothing can be subtracted, nothing can be added. It has to be that precise. And the topic that is being handled, whether it is Yoga Sutra or Brahma Sutra, the sutra literature was popular once upon a time in our academics of India, because there was a different system of education in India. Before the British could introduce their system of education, we had a different system of education, in which this form of sutra literature was very, very popular and effective. All that you had to remember was a sutra, and then the whole bulk of whatever followed was just available to you. You just remembered that much. Enough. Enough. Everything could come. It was a wonderful way of developing the intelligence of people. So this is called as the sutra. Now the Yoga Sutra is that form of literature of sutra in which the topic of yoga is being introduced to you, is brought to you. So obviously, he who is interested, he, she, okay, he is not gender specific. I should be very clear. And if you want to be even more clear, I will tell you I'm a feminist. So now, whosoever is interested, and therefore he is willing to listen, now that knowledge should be given to that person. So we have this Yoga Sutra. The entire bulk of Yoga Sutra is divided in 4 chapters called as the Pada. Pada means a step or a foot. Pada. If you have gone to Kanyakumari, you will see that Shripada Shila. Have you seen? Shripada, where Devi meditated or did her penance. As a result, her footprint has been imprinted on that rock. So Shri means Devi, and Pada is her footprint. Shripada Shila. Shila is the rock. You go and you see that there is one footprint, naturally formed. Shripada Shila. Pada means a foot or a step. So over here, this entire teaching of yoga is divided, is brought to you in 4 distinct topics called as these 4 chapters or the 4 padas. The first chapter is called as Samadhi Pada. So when we even say yoga, immediately an image comes to your mind of a person who is sitting and meditating, deep in meditation. Samadhi, even if you don't understand what Samadhi is, just it means that this fellow is sitting with his backbone erect and not moving for hours together. Whatever, we will see what that meaning of word Samadhi is. So the first chapter goes to explain Samadhi. The second chapter is called as the Sadhana Pada. Sadhana means the instrumented tool. A lot of people are interested in doing spiritual sadhana, isn't it? Most of you who have gathered over here definitely have heard this word, sadhana karni chahiye bhai. Sadhan bhajan karo, sadhana karo. Now then what is sadhana? Then somebody is going to tell you, wake up early in the morning, take cold water bath, and then go back to sleep. Sadhana, different people, different sadhana. And some people have real spiritual sadhana. You know, in the parking lot. Soon. कैसे ना? The word sadhanam means the instrument or the means. Any instrument is going to become significant depending upon what is it that you want to achieve. What is it that you want to do? The end defines the means. If you want to travel to India, you cannot undertake a travel padayatra, Gandhi follower. I am a Gandhi follower. Take one stick and walk across. No, you will have to take appropriate means. You will have to employ an appropriate means. Okay? That is called as. So depending upon what is it that you want to achieve or attain, the sadhanam will be defined. So the word sadhanam, the meaning is the means. Samadhipada, sadhanapada. The third path is called as vibhuti-pada. Vibhuti means this splendor, opulence. Generally when you go over there, you take little vibhuti in front of Shankar Bhagavan and apply the ash on the head. It is called vibhuti. That ash is called vibhuti. Vibhuti means the splendor. So as a result of you undertaking this various practices of yoga, certain things start undergoing change in you. A transformation starts happening. And those siddhis are experienced, are seen. Those siddhis are called as the vibhuti. Okay? The fourth chapter is the chapter called as Kaivalya-pada. Kaivalya means Kevalasya bhavaha kaivalyam. Just that alone. Kevalam. In Gujaratis they have Keval Bhai. Keval means just that. But this Keval Bhai is married, not once, twice. Keval Bhai, what happened to you? You're not Keval. Kaivalyam means just that alone. Not lonely, alone. Kaivalyam. These are the 4 chapters of the Yoga Sutra. Now something about the author, Sage Patanjali. Historically speaking, the data that is available about Sage Patanjali is very little. There are severe disagreements amongst the historians also about the period for Sage Patanjali. Some of them speak something like 1st and 2nd century after Christ, and some of them say even several centuries before Christ. So there does not seem to be a total agreement about it. And to me, dating of sage Patanjali is not significant issue at all. What is more significant is what is he telling you? When he existed, what clothes did he wear? What customs did he follow? Are not that important. What is he telling you is more important. And perhaps this is the reason why you will find that the Indian history is not a record of events in time. When we say Ramayana and Mahabharata is itihasa, the word itihasa translated means history. But over there you do not find any information about the dates, that this is 5,000 years before Christ, Bhagavan Rama was born, or anything like that. No, these are not, those specific dates are not mentioned. They are not important. What is important for you over there is that the message which comes. Because history to me is nothing more than just events in the past. It is a dead matter, buried. It's dead and gone. And if you are going to rake it up, it will just smell bad. There will be a stench about it. So it is better. But there is something to learn, something to understand. And if that happens through these characters or through these events, then that study of history is more fruitful for you than just remembering the dates and years. So we do not have that. But what we have about sage Patanjali is a little description which comes in form of a prayer, where the sage is described as the one who has given three things to humanity. And as a matter of fact, the impact that sage Patanjali therefore has left on humanity is tremendous. We all exist at three levels. One is the body, the level of speech, and at the level of mind. So you are an entity which is physical, psychological, as well as endowed with the speech, a means of communication. All these things are your resources. Your body is your resource, your speech is your resource, your mind is your resource. All these three things are there with you. So we find that this description goes, Yogena Chittasya Padena Vacham. Sage Patanjali is someone who, by giving the science of yoga, has purified the mind. By giving his work, authoritative work on the Sanskrit grammar, has purified the speech. And he, by giving his work on the medical science, which is Ayurveda, Charaka Samhita, he has purified the body. The ailments have been taken away. Malam apakarot. Malam means the impurity. One who has taken away the impurities of body, mind and speech. To that sage Patanjali we offer our salutations. So even if you do not have any exact dates of sage Patanjali, his works are such immortal works that you cannot deny his existence. The Mahabhashyam on the Grammar Sutras is the most wonderful work which has astonished all the scholars in the world. His work called as the Charaka Samhita on the Ayurveda is another one. And finally we have the Yoga Sutras, the work on his yoga. So thus we have these three things which can be definitely attributed to sage Patanjali, without any doubt. But more important is, so at your level of body,